been a busy weekend for Trench Crusade. I played my second to last campaign game, and I also played a test game because I'm testing out some warbands before our next campaign starts in like a couple of weeks. Because I've only got one game left, I'm going to be painting up this Goetic Warlock, who's going to be joining my warband for the last game. I've never played with one before, so it's going to be interesting. I've already done some metallics, and we'll be doing some rust and some skin. So let's get into painting. So the scenario we were playing was Dragon Hunt. The whole idea is you've got a big dragon in the center, you've got a load of peasants, you need to get rid of the peasants, and you need to slay the dragon. You score points for getting the dragon and the peasants, but you got to make sure you don't get rid of all the peasants, because when you do, the dragon will try and leave the battlefield. So you can score quite a lot of victory points in a short amount of time. So my whole plan going in was, we're going to slay the dragon. It's Dragon Hunt, you have to slay the dragon. So that was my thought going in. I think I was a little bit overly keen, which became the sort of downfall of my sort of game. I was playing against the Black Grail, against Steve. His Black Grail has been doing really well in the campaign. He has a load of Plague Knights with a load of disgusting stuff on them. His Lord of Tumors is an absolute demon. I was very skeptical going into the game anyway, but I just wanted to have a fun time to see what I could do against the Black Grail. So deployment-wise, I decided to split my forces. This was a bad idea because my sorcerer had the musical instrument. I thought it would be better to have my Praetor, Pit Locust, Hell Knight, and a Yoke Fiend together to pressure the dragon, and then my sorcerer, the Blood Battery, and the Hunter of the Left-Hand Path would sit on the left flank. This was kind of a mistake because my sorcerer has the musical instrument, which would then cause me problems later on, not having it near that other blob. So I'm not sure about having the instrument on the sorcerer. And then being very keen, I charged my Pit Locust in. He managed to get a Glorious Steed, but he wasn't able to survive very long because the dragon is very, very powerful. Yeah, so that was a little bit foolish of me. I should have just probably sat back and waited, but again, it is what it is. So I did manage to do a lot of damage to the dragon. My Hell Knight did a lot of work because he's got Surgical Strike, which means that he can say, I'm ignoring armor, which really helped. But again, he had Hellblade, which has the fire keyword, and the dragon has this ability where if you attack it with something that has a elemental keyword, when you get to the injury roll, it will be at -1 dice. So you just got to bear that in mind and get some blood on him. My sorcerer was able to do some Burning Infernos, my hunter was able to get rid of some peasants, but apart from that, he didn't really do much else. So the game basically played out. I did a load of damage to the dragon. I was able to basically speedrun a load of points. By the end of turn 2, I was on 23 points, I believe. So I was feeling really good. But then we managed to get rid of his last life, and then he has Defiant, so in order to get rid of him, you have to get him to 6 blood before taking him out, which Steve's Lord of Tumors was able to do. And that was basically the end of the game. The Lord of Tumors managed to slay the dragon, and then the Lord of Tumors and the rest of his warband managed to get rid of the rest of my force. My Praetor went down. My Praetor was not able to roll a single successful dash, so this was a big problem on my part. I kept trying to dash him first. Sometimes it's okay, especially when you have a musical instrument nearby, but he wasn't, so I was just rolling 2 dice for my dash, and he kept failing it. So it was only on turn 3 he was actually able to do anything, and he shot a couple of things, but nothing really happened. Now at the end of turn 4, you have to roll the dice to see if the game continues or not. On a 1 and a 2, the game ends. But if you roll any higher, the game continues. Now, I've never wanted to roll a 1 so badly, and the dice gods looking down on me must have felt some pity for me, because I was able to roll a 1 and the game ended which, because at the end of it, I only had my Hunter of the Left-Hand Path, my Blood Bank, and that was about it. Everything else was taken out of action, so I was really nervous going into the trauma step. The trauma step's always the most nerve-wracking part of the campaign experience, and I had a lot to be nervous about because I had a lot of my big hitters, Hell Knight, Pit Locust, a Praetor Sorcerer, who were going to be in a bit of peril. We'll get the worst over with first. So my Sorcerer got the injury, Possessed. Now, Possessed is awful on him because his first action now has to be the dash action, and the first 3 inches of that action have to be directly away from the position he's in. So he's going to be running around, and he doesn't have tough. He is my only caster, my only proper caster. The court can rely a lot on their sorcerer for Goetic powers, especially if you build them for very heavily into the Goetic powers. So that's going to put him at an awful amount of risk. My Praetor, now this injury would have been a lot worse if this happened early on in the campaign, but he basically got the head wound. So that means they can no longer gain any experience. So if I got that like game 1, I probably would have had to try and get rid of him, because him not being able to gain any experience would have been an absolute blow. I mean, it does kind of suck going into next game because he was 1 off from advancing, so he's just stuck where he is. I don't think the Praetor has done particularly well this campaign. He feels very like a glass cannon. And then my Hell Knight, he full recovery, he was perfectly fine, thankfully. And then my Pit Locust rolled a hard lesson. So you roll a d3 and you get that much extra experience. He managed to get 2, and that basically put him up to full experience, and he was able to advance twice. But yeah, going into the next game, I'm obviously going to be using the Goetic Warlock, and list-wise, I really want to run a Desecrated Saint. I haven't used one yet, so I would love the opportunity to just try it out. It's the last game. I have enough ducats to buy one. It's just a matter of space in the warband. So it was a really fun game. I had a great time against Steve, and yeah, his Black Grail are really scary, and it's another reason why I love the Black Grail so much. That wasn't our only game we played. We did play a second game at 700 ducats. We both wanted to test out some new warbands. He was running a Papal Force, and I was running Defenders of the Iron Wall. Now, I've never played any Iron Sultanate faction before, and I really like the look of this one because it was a lot more gunliney. It's probably the most gunliney army faction in Trench Crusade, maybe barring like Heretic Legion, because they've got fantastic long-range shooting. But with the Defenders of the Iron Wall, you get a lot of reliable shooting. So I was running a Brazen Ball, I was running the Sultanate Grand Cannon, I had an Alchemist, their Ubasi, a Janissary Officer with Siege Giselle, then a couple of Azebs with like one with a Flamer, one with a Giselle, one with Musical Instrument. So it's a really tight list, and yeah, my Brazen Ball has the Flame Cannon, Shield, Reinforced Armor, and he has a Great Maul. Literally just playing a let's just throw these warbands at each other. I really enjoyed how the Iron Wall play. They're very sort of synergistic, especially with the Siege Giselle team special rule. So if you have 2 people with Siege Giselles and they're stood next to each other, they get +1 on their range dice, which is really good because they've already got, well, the Janissary Officer's already got +1, and the Yabasi has +2. So you're bumping that up, and they also have like really good elevated position special rules. So if they're on an elevated position, they get +2 dice instead of +1 dice bonus. Because the Janissary Officer and the Yabasi have strong, that means that they do have an element of maneuverability, because the Siege Giselles have heavy, so you are kind of moving around with them and taking pot shots. They were able to get rid of one of Steve's mercenaries, and they were able to get rid of a sniper priest. My cannon didn't really do anything. It kept missing the shots because Steve was able to get some blood onto the alchemist, so he was using that really effectively. It felt like a lot of kiting, which was super cool. So sort of, I'm moving in, I'm shooting, and then I'm going to move behind cover. So it was really interesting playstyle compared to like having all of these games with the court. I really enjoyed that, and the Brazen Bull with flame cannon is fantastic. It's really cool. He was able to take out, I think, about 3-4 miniatures in that game. We had to finish early because the place was closing, but I was really sold on him. He's a lot of points. He's like over 200 points kitted out. It was a big chunk of the list. I think getting him early in the campaign will be pretty cool, and I just like the idea of having the Grand Cannon there as well, just to get some extra stuff going on. Yeah, I think it's a really tight list. I think it's good, reliable shooting. I will probably end up going like gunline and then Brazen Bull. It's going to hold the midline and see what I can do objective-wise. But I like the idea of the captain and the Janissary Officer moving around together to be a sort of mobile shooting team. I was really impressed with how they played, and I really like their play style. I do like shooting armies. I'm more of a shooting army than a close combat army. I say that, but I absolutely love the Black Grail. They're one of my favorite factions. So it was just a nice change to play a shooting focused army. And if you like a gunline army, I do recommend checking them out. The Iron Sultanate did get some updates in the playtest rules, so it's definitely a good time to check them out. So that's the Goetic Warlock done. I kind of got a different result than I did with the Pit Locust, which is nice because I didn't want them to look exactly the same. I think it's mainly due to the oils and enamels I used on this one. It just gave it a little bit more of that like machine decay than the rust on the Pit Locust. So I'm really happy with how he turned out. And yeah, it's probably all I'm going to have time for today. If you're still here at the end of the video, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. And if you really did enjoy yourself, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, as I really do appreciate it and it helps the channel grow. I'm currently going to be filming the start of the Red Brigade videos throughout the week in like spare time. So hopefully there will be a big Red Brigade video sometime in the near future. So yeah, thank you so much for watching again. I've been Peyton from the Loam, and until next time, goodbye.